Hi and welcome back to Oddys Airsoft. Now, if you're a regular follower of the channel, you'll know we've already done a number of reviews on some equipment. A couple of things I want to revisit because I've now had a chance to use them for a longer term. And I think it's always good to come back to stuff and give an honest opinion about how things have worked out. First thing I'm going to look at, or revisit, is the S Thunder grenade hand pistol. Now, if you remember, I told you I absolutely loved it. That hasn't changed one bit. This is pure class. Now, the metal version has been released. This is the ABS plastic version. The metal version has been released. They're in stores now. And I have to say, there's been a number of scenarios where this has absolutely proven deadly. So yes, I still recommend it. I have no faults with it. There's been no failure in any of the parts. There shouldn't be because it's quite basic anyway. So all in all, I can't fault it still, and I would thoroughly recommend anyone to take one of these and get using it. The next thing I wanted to come back to was the Hexagon PPSH, the World War II Russian submachine gun. As you can see, this may look a little bit different, or does it? There was a couple of comments made on the channel after I did the initial review saying that the Hexagon PPSH looked nothing like the real steel. Well, this is a real steel. This was a product from 1944. It belongs to one of my airsofting buddies who's a big World War II aficionado, Stephen, and he kindly lent it to me so I could have a comparison jobby. It's a lot heavier, I have to say. This, as I say, is a 1944 model, and it's the real deal. Now this is the airsoft equivalent by Hexagon. Now, I'm sorry, but for all intents and purposes, they are identical. There's a few more markings on the real steel, but in size and look and design, there's very little in the difference. So for anybody who was casting aspersions to whether Hexagon had got it right or not, I can tell you now they've got it spot on. The wood is darker, in fairness, on the wood kit than the real steel, but you could change that if you really wanted to. So how have I found it in field? Come back to it, I love it. It's absolutely brilliant, but there have been a few problems. Mag issue. Paddy in the last video said that it would take a little bit of bedding in. It has done, and I can safely say once it has bedded in, you'll have no problems with releasing the mag and taking it out and refilling and refitting. It's quite a quick process. The fact that it takes around 600 rounds means you don't have to refill that often unless you're very trigger happy like myself. One of my problems I had with it was I took it out for a spin at one of our sites and had a crowd around me with lots of oohs and ahs going on, as per usual when you take out a new gun. Went to let it rip and there was a big whining noise and no BBs coming out. What happened was, inside the casing here is the motor, and the motor has a metal casing holding it in place. The metal casing had cracked, and so now the motor wasn't engaging. I went into Chris in MIA and I said, Chris, I have a problem, Hexagon's died on me. And within 30 seconds Chris turned around and said, I think I know what it is, because they'd already had another one back. Chris was able to fix it in less than 10 seconds of opening. He put in a new M14 case onto the motor, and I've not had a day's problem since. So Hexagon obviously have an issue with the metal that's been used on the motor casing, and they do need to look at that. If you do buy one of these, it's something to be aware of. It is a failure point. So I would recommend that you either preemptively get it fixed and changed, or at least be aware that if it goes wrong, it's probably the first place to look. That aside, again, I have to tell you, it is singly my favourite World War II gun. It outfires, outranges my Thompson, which makes it a lot easier to take into modern warfare situations. It's always been a bit of a bugbear for me whenever I do get into my World War II loadout. I struggle with firepower because the Thompson just doesn't keep up. And it's not that the Cybergun Thompson is no good, it is a great gun. The mags on it aren't great, and they don't feed as rapidly as you'd like, and they also misfeed and cause a couple of problems, and that doesn't happen with this. So if I go into a modern environment with lots of modern guns with high rates of fire, and I take this in with my World War II loadout, I can keep up, which is great for me. So do I recommend it? 100%. I love it. I still love it. I've had no problems apart from the motor casing, and it's something to be very, very aware of. So as I said, this was just a quick revisit, just to touch up on a few points of stuff that we've looked at. One thing I would like to say as well is it was recently Commemoration Day for vets around the world, people who've served in the armed forces. I don't want to get into a political battle with anyone of the rights and wrongs of war, but I think one thing that all airsofters do begin to appreciate when they play the game is what job the armed forces actually do. Right or wrong, that's the reasons why they're there, irrelevant. What they actually do on the ground is pretty impressive. And I was in New York recently, a wonderful city, and on 5th Avenue on Veterans Day they had a parade, and I have to say a lot of respect out to any armed soldier who has fought or is in the process of fighting a battle anywhere in the world. It's a pretty big task you do.